It's 6:35, guys. We're gonna start off everything, man. We want to welcome you guys. My name is Demetrio Shakan. We want to welcome everybody to the Laboratory of Redemption, man. Thank you again for joining us again to the Laboratory of Redemption. This is week 12. 11. This is week 11. Next week is week 12, of course. This is week 11, not 11. It's 11 if you're from the South. 11 if you're from the rest of the world. It's 11 if you're from the South. So week 11 from the South. Welcome you guys to the Laboratory of Redemption, man. 100K Club again. That's the goal, guys. 100K Club. I don't want us to ever forget about that. 100K in 1 month. That's the goal. So hopefully, those that sitting by idly waiting for the next good storm to come up, so we're gonna eat good on this next big storm. We mentally preparing. We're getting all the notes. We're getting everything in line, ready for this next storm to come out, so we can all jump on that 100K Club, so we can join Dr. Travis, Dr. Brock, and all of that, and get on that and the remaining. So that's the goal.
Dr. Travis Brock.
Dr. Travis Brock. I mean, that's not said lightly. Dr. Travis Brock.
It's an honor to say that.
That's right, Doctor.
He's not a DJ. Sir. So you just don't get the name for DJing like Dr. Dre, Dr. Rock. Get the name. He actually had to earn that. So we do have a doctor in the building. We do have one. So
yeah, but a great doctor in the building.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm something like a doctor.
Okay. He is. He's a doctor. He's a genius in his own right, in many forms. In many forms. One form is the artistry, in which I've been introduced to lately. So he's definitely a doctor in that area, and I'm sure some people can attest to a couple of more. But we definitely appreciate everybody in here, man. And again, Travis, we appreciate you guys for joining us again today. We got a couple of great, awesome guest speakers today. One being you were introduced a little bit last week, Coach Ryan Walker, man. He's a great coach, and he's going to teach you or speak to some things as far as investing. Investing is a word you're going to hear today. I'm going to bring it up. We're going to bring it up. Investment is the word of the day. Whether it's be financially investing the money that you have into yourself and your family, or making an investment into yourself, whether it be taking classes, whether it be a commitment to yourself, investment into yourself is great. I can. One of the great tales about me and Travis and Major, we all started together. Our first thing was all together on this, and one of the things I love and respect so much about Dr. Brock, Travis, is when we started, we all were at ground zero, man, frustrated and everything. That next year, it was like no storms. Nothing happened in 2019. We started in 2018. In 2019, nothing happened, right? So I'm like, I got to get a job. I got to take care of myself and all that. Travis invested in himself. The little money that he made from 2018, he took that money and he invested in himself. He was all over. He was going into classes. He was paying for classes, going to crew, getting all of this education, doing all of this stuff. He was investing in himself, So in turn, I went this way and was like, I got to pay bills. I got to do all of this stuff. He, in turn, went this way and was like, I got to invest in myself. And then he invested in himself, and he went this way. He escalated and went up by investing in himself. It's a perfect example of taking the time, even when you don't know nothing from the beginning. Taking the time, taking the money to invest in yourself, to get that education, even when times are slow. So when you're in between deployments, when you're not out there making money, go learn some stuff. Learn exactly. Go take that rope and harness class.
He was driving Uber and doing DoorDash and investing in himself. He was blowing anything up to make himself better.
Absolutely.
That's what makes him a great man.
He was on deployment. In between.
And driving Uber. Yeah. That man never stopped.
That's what you ain't
Oh
calling.
no, I think he might have more than 24 hours in his days. I don't know. I don't know.
He had 28 hours a day. I swear to
Hey,
God.
man, y'all was
Tell me
talking,
the
man.
other
All
4
y'all
while
some
we
money or
supposed to be
something, man.
sleeping.
Man, I'm telling y'all, man.
Actually,
Go
if
on,
y'all ain't
man.
figured out, it's two of
Too
them
much
by now.
pressure.
It's
Too
two
much
of them.
pressure, man. Matthew, too much pressure, man.
It's a Dr. Travis and it's a Travis Brock. It's two fellas. It can't be one. But anyway.
No,
Back
he
to
cloned himself. That's how he did it.
y'all seen the movie on Netflix. Y'all seen it. But hey, man, we're gonna get back. But other than we got Coach Walker who's gonna speak to you about investments, investing into yourself, and he has a whole thing, man. Coach Walker is absolutely fabulous. He's a great resource to have, and to be able to speak on him at this ground. I know some of you guys got some money, some doing other things, but to speak on him, to him, and with him at this place where you are about to make a lot of money, so he can guide you and put you in the right places to make sure that you can take and keep as much of that money as you can. So he's going to be speaking today, and as I was speaking to earlier, another person who had started with me and Travis is Major. Major was the only one who actually got it when we first started. Me and Travis both was like just bumping our head, like we're looking at each other like we don't know what to do. What's happening? We had to drive 2 hours to get a little bit of training. While Major, on the other hand, was like, I got it. I can't really explain it to y'all. I'm gonna just do my little part, and he would do his thing. But it clicked with Major because he got it up here. He's a very intelligent guy, so he's going to tell us, a little bit more in depth about his journey on getting started and everything. But first and foremost, guys, again, thank you so much. 100K Club, Laboratory Redemption. If you guys have any questions at any time, drop them out in the Discord. We get to them, man, and make sure all of that stuff get answered. We got so many things on the horizon that we're going to be bringing to you. And Dr. Brock is going to be speaking to you and tell you a little bit more about that. So, Dr. Brock, if you would, please.
Man, it's just Travis, man. That's cool, man.
I mean, whatever, cool. Dog. Whatever.
Hey, man, it's cool, man. Hey, man, we was together, looking stupid. Now, what's going on, family? I'm excited about sharing with you guys just a quick little blurb. The big thing for me is investment. Investing into you. That's the big thing because in the beginning, we were not investing in at all. Oh, man, it was terrible. Having to drive 2.5 hours to go get help and then get help, that made no sense. But the cool thing about it was that I had Demetrio and Major there with me so we can laugh it off and still hurt together. So it's hard to get started because you have no idea what the heck you're doing. However, the investment in you is important because we want you to succeed. We won't charge you for it. We want to make sure that we help you to guide you along the way. Now, one thing that's really cool about everything is the support you guys give. Support is absolutely amazing. I see some of my mastermind folks here, Jatan, see Michelle and Matthew L. They're part of a community I'm a part of. And for those individuals in here, I'm going to highly suggest that you join Dr. Eric Thomas's mastermind. I'm going to highly suggest that because of the network in which you become a part of, which is super, super cool, right? But the biggest thing that I'm excited about is Coach Ryan. We make a lot of doggone money. However, we want you to keep your money, be able to make it grow forever without you. We also make sure we set you up properly to where you get your trust together, you get all your insurances together, because what happens is you make all this money and then let's say you transition or pass on. What does that money do? Is the money over or does it continue to grow and grow and grow, right? Because the biggest thing we want for you guys is to, once you make your money, be able to invest it in other things, whether it be real estate, whether it be, whatever it could be. We want to make sure you invest, into a business because the money by itself is okay. However, we want you to be able to make it without having to do anything in order to make more of it. Does that make sense? Yes or yes? Yeah. On my trip, yeah. I'll be tripping. Got the hands up high. I got a question. Got the hands up and everything.
Yeah.
Nah, man, but I am so thankful that you guys are here. It makes my heart feel great because I know we have on the horizons behind the scenes for you guys. We got some really, really cool things working. I'm just excited to be able to support you and be there for you. I'm going to pass the ball back Did you somebody catch the ball? No chest pass.
I got it, dog. I got it. I
No
catch
chest
it. I
pass.
catch it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm a
Oh,
point
okay.
guard.
Pocket
You know what I'm
patch.
saying? I'm gonna catch it.
You want a pocket
I'm gonna
patch?
catch it and dish it. So we appreciate you guys. Thank you, sir, for those words. And again, we got a lot of great stuff on the horizon, man. We all in talks, man. But another person I want to bring on that's been with us and has a great story. I don't know how deep she's gonna get into it, whatever.
I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. Oh my God, boy. So awesome.
Hey,
Golly,
Miss
boy.
Janae, if you would please go ahead and take the mic and go and speak your piece and do your thing. But ladies and gentlemen, Miss Aiken, to the floor.
Hey guys, a lot of you guys have already heard my story, but just very briefly, I started in January. Again, had no type of experience. Got very lucky, as I call it, to get a deployment, in January. But just to go back to like the whole investing part, I know that it could seem a bit like when you're not deployed or once you get licensed, it's kind of tough to like, continue to put out this money for licenses and, continuing education. But it's so important to like just be prepared for that. Because like they said, they had no help. So if you have the opportunity to take these Xactimate trainings, I would recommend that. The rope and harness training will definitely like boost your resume when they see that on there, that you can handle those high or steep roofs that you may have to climb. But definitely like investing in those licenses around the coast, that's super important. And that's something that in the beginning was kind of like hard. If Major could mute them. That was something in the beginning that was like kind of hard to wrap my head around, because it's like, dang, I just keep putting out all this money and there's no guarantee that, you're going to get a deployment. But the thing is, as long as you continue to do those things to help boost your resume, eventually you will get deployed. But it's important to stay deployed, right? Like a lot of rookies out there get deployed, but how long can you stay there? Can you show them that that you're in this for the long run and that you're talented enough to catch on to these things and to outshine other rookies? But definitely investing in yourself is super important. Speaking of investing, the adjuster spotlight that we have this week is Mr. Major Adams, who I believe came like right after school. He started to try to get into this stuff. Like his story is very, very cool to hear. Major, if you could just give us a little background about yourself, how you got started, how
Did you make any money, Janae?
Did
you make any money, Janae? Did you make any money?
This guy asks me every time.
I know. I'm so proud. I'm just so proud.
I know.
I feel so good.
I made a very good amount of money this year, which is why I'm listening to Ryan like this, because I'm like, man, I'm ready to start investing in properties and get it going. So when I'm not deployed, I'm not sitting around like, dang, I'm just burning money. Like, how am I going to make this money back? Because as you know, when you're not deployed, the first week or two, it's nice, you rested. After that, you're like, dang, like, when are we gonna start making some more money? So I'm looking forward to what Mr. Ryan Walker has to say, because like I said, I'm gonna be 9 months,
player. Player, what you making 9 months, man? We ain't doing that.
Those staggering amounts that you've made is life changing.
It definitely is. Yeah. Surprisingly, first year out, made high 6 figures. I can't believe it myself. Every time I get paid, I'm just like, I just get more motivation to keep working. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just get more motivation to keep working because I'm like addicted to stacking now. You know what I mean? It's like it's becoming an addiction. So I'm ready. I'm ready for Mr. Walker to help me just double up, triple up, so I could be straight when I'm not deployed. Definitely looking forward to that.
Don't forget, we got Eva who can help you with your credit. If you got credit issues and trying to get all of that in line, we got a professional, like an expert. That's what she do. She is so cold in that. So we have people that can help you get your credit in line, and then once you get your credit in line, everything can work together with each other.
And I feel like it's easy when you're not deployed to not even really think about this topic and kind of brush it off. But like, it comes in very quickly. And if you already have a plan, imagine if you already have a plan. If you already have a plan on what you're doing next, you're just gonna run it up very quickly. very
And
quickly.
yo, and just I'm sorry, just a really quick note. Just a really quick note. We ain't come up with this. This ain't something that's new. This ain't new.
Right.
This is not nothing that's new. We're not telling y'all some revolution or something that we're thinking about that might work. This
Right.
ain't that. We are telling you that's what's been tried and true before by many before us that have done this, and what we are giving you what has worked, what it is. There's no
In a
guessing
quietly
about it.
kept industry.
And
Quietly
so
kept.
you are knowing. It's no like, let me figure this out. We figured it out. It's been,
Right.
we've tried it. We went and bumped our heads and all of this stuff, and it is what it is. So that's just that part. I just had to throw that. Okay, good.
Right, right. No, but that is true. That is true. But yeah, we're getting off topic. Let's bring it back around to Mr. Major Adams again. Please introduce yourself. He's one of our very own. He's one of the biggest pieces quietly in this group that's
He was
doing a lot of work
21.
for us.
He was 21 years old when I met. He
So
was 21 when I met
please
him.
let us know when you guys started, how long you've been doing it, any investments that you might have made. Go ahead, Major.
All right, everybody. So yeah, I started off yeah, like as soon as I graduated at about 21, and it was really like my godmother that kind of got me into it because I saw that she was, living pretty well. And then I saw she was doing some estimates on Xactimate, like back when I was in middle school. So I played around with it a little bit. Was like it's pretty simple. So
In
so
middle school.
right. So then once I graduated, I went over to get my license, and then that was a pretty big investment for me at the time, because
I bet.
the classes back then they were pretty expensive. They're about 400 or 500, sometimes $600 if you want that Xactimate training too. But I thought it would be worth it. I saw what was possible with it, so then I paid that, made that investment, and then took the class with actually the guy that Travis was talking about, Mr. Eric Thomas.
Mhm.
And then after that, I start waiting on deployments, and then the first one I got was out there with Meech and Travis in Mariana, Florida. Yeah, it was a natural disaster out there. It was a hurricane. It wasn't your little hailstorm or windstorm. There was no electricity. We had a curfew at like 9 o'clock, and it was rough out there. And we didn't really have a community or nothing like that. Our community was really each other, and we didn't know much as it is. So
Mhm.
so that's how we started off. And then like we said, when we were in the we were in the room, I didn't actually get the whole process and how to close a whole claim either when I was out there, because not like we said, they had to drive 2 hours just to meet with somebody to give them help. Then when I was out there as well, it wasn't easy to get a hold of a trainer or somebody to help you. And then you kind of stuck, and it's frustrating mentally and literally, in the sense of trying to close your claims and get paid as well.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, being out there, like, I mean, after you were done with that first deployment, what type of other investments did you have to put into yourself? Like, did you go ahead and get a bunch of licenses, or like, what was kind of like your path?
Right, and the thing that helped me the most was kind of like how you said, getting that rope and harness certification. Once I
That's
got
big.
Very big. Once I got that certification and I updated it on my different profiles, deployments they're really coming in left and right compared to when you don't have that certification. Like
Hmm.
that's mostly all the deployments that do come in. To be honest, they
Real
really
quick,
want to
I'm
pay.
Right.
sorry, Magic. I'm sorry. Can you explain what that is and what that entails to the people who don't know? What is a rope and harness certification? What does it do?
Right, and yes, so to get the what the rope and harness certification is, it's basically a certification that it allows you to handle two-story roofs or higher, or steep and steep as well. And that's what I like. That's what a lot of the these companies like, because they trust you to handle really almost any house that comes through.
Mhm. And they don't
So
have to worry so much about like, oh, what can this person handle? What can't they handle? Having to go through claims, figuring out what to give you.
exactly, it makes you more of an
Mhm.
asset, and you really always keep work, in my opinion, if you go ahead and get that certification. And that was a big investment that that I think really worked out for me as well.
Right.
Lucky
Okay.
enough for
So,
me, I'm sorry, go ahead, Meech. Were you about to
no,
say
no,
something?
go ahead. Okay, thank you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I
Go
was
ahead. I'm
gonna
sorry.
say, like when I first got started, I remember last year, I had took a rope and harness class. A company pilot was like traveling around the states, and they would just go into random states, like I said, and they were just offering a free rope and harness class. So of course, when it came to New York, I jumped right on it. Um, I went there. There was probably maybe like three other people there, and it was over 2 days. And they just, they teach you how to rope up with the rope and harness. How to help yourself if you get into trouble, if you get stuck up there, and things like that. And it's like I never used the certification. Like I don't even have a rope and harness, but just taking the class and putting it on your resume, like he said, it opens up a lot more doors because then at least they know that you're certified if you need to get up there to use it. Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Right. So
And then it's the same way for me as well. I was about to say that I haven't even used the rope and harness
right. I
really
still
on
haven't even
deployment.
used it. Right. And you still get on 2-story steeps.
Mm.
Right. I mean, it does take time. It's not like like before this year, I've never got on a roof. Like I never thought that I would be on any person's roof. You know what I mean? I started off on very basic level, ranch style, where, you're just a little scared to get off the ladder. But once you get comfortable with it, it's not as difficult as you may
And
think.
it is, and I don't want y'all. I don't want people to think that just getting the rope and harness is just good for getting deployments. It's not. That's cool and that's fine. However,
Mhm.
doing experiencing that training, getting familiar with being on steep roofs, how to walk in valleys, being safe,
Mhm.
and all of that. That is a great benefit of rope and harness if you are not familiar with getting on roofs. So
Mhm.
familiarizing with yourself and getting comfortable on this roof because you want to be comfortable on those roofs. So it's great for getting deployments and everything, but do whatever training you got to do to get comfortable so you can be safe with walking
Mhm.
on those roofs. Do
Mhm.
your mom's house, do your house, do people's house, but get comfortable. But rope and harness would definitely give you some things that you can do, like again, like walking in valleys, getting into the ridge, and
Right.
all of that stuff. They teach you all of that stuff. So yeah, if you have an opportunity to get that for that experience as well.
Mhm. And let me just finish up with Major. I have two questions for you. One, how long have you been doing this for?
And now this year is coming on about 5 years, 5 years on and off. About
Okay.
2018 was when that first
And
deployment
that's
started.
pretty solid. That's a pretty solid time of experience, you would say, right? Like you pretty much got your thing down pat, like your process,
Right. I
right?
feel like my process is pretty much down. I believe I've been on about 5 deployments,
Oh
four or
wow.
five.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so just like I said, just to finish up, what is something that looking back could have got you here where you are quicker? Like, is there any advice like you would give to your younger self to like get to where you are quicker?
Yes, I'd say, well, if I had the opportunity, find a community or a group of people that, I could really stay motivated from, and then once I'm on deployments, when I am on that employment, and invest in my time wisely, because in my opinion, um, the way to get better and the way to maximize your potential in this job is to really have a set schedule and invest your time in the right ways when you are on those
Mm-hmm.
deployments. Like sometimes staying up, finishing putting in those file notes, putting in those labeling those
Mm-hmm.
photos.
Yep.
Sometimes when it gets late, instead of saying, well, I'm only working 12 hours a day, so I'm gonna
Exactly.
stop right now. Nah,
Mm-hmm.
that extra work is really what helps you stay out there. And if you're getting paid on component, you're making more money, so it's a win-win situation.
Yeah. Speaking of money, I hate to ask. No, that's a lie. I'm very nosy. I'm very nosy. And I'm trying to get to your level. So like just to ask on your last deployment, how long you were there for, how much money did you make in total for that deployment?
The last deployment, which was, I'm not gonna lie, it was my best deployment I've had yet. It was pretty good
Ooh,
damage, and I think I was there for about 5, 6 weeks, something like that. And then
okay.
I made about 60,000 in that amount of time.
I take.
Damn.
You made 60,000 in 6 weeks?
Right, I fell short of that 100K club, but
Holy,
that's what we
I
shooting
was so
for.
mad at you, bro. I was so mad at you, man.
That's what
wow.
we shooting for.
Wow.
Hey, but I
God
bet your
damn,
next
I wasn't
deployment.
expecting that.
I bet what I got that your next deployment you get it. I bet you kill.
Oh no, definitely. That's the goal.
I
Dang,
That's
already know
always
that.
the
I
goal.
bet everything I got to you because of what you got, and I know,
damn.
man, a fresh storm. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Thank you, Major, for sharing that with us. I appreciate it.
No
I
problem.
appreciate it. That's motivation for me all day. All right, Meech.
Man, Major, man, we do
I love
appreciate you.
that. Like, I love
So
that.
much. And I was right there with him, so I know him. So when he blow up, I'm gonna look at dude. I knew when he didn't know when we was all eating old cheese and old peanut butter from the
I
military.
can't.
Yeah. I knew him when. I'm saying, look, man, I got a bunch of famous friends about to be famous. But anyway, man, thank you for that, man. It's really inspirational, like for real. And to see what Major does right now for us and our community, and how he puts everything together, and how he utilizes his skills and talents, and to see what he's invested in himself, and how it pours out, and it benefits me personally, but us as a community and everything, man. I appreciate it like so much, man. So thank you again for Major for that, man, for being who you are, and I appreciate you and thanks for being in this community. But man, so man, we're about to really get fed. So I hope you guys really, man, get out your pen and paper and take some notes on this, man. So this is a really, really good time to pay attention to. Man, again, this is going to help a lot of people. It's going to help me a lot. So I got my pen in hand. You know, I'm ready to take some notes. So please, Mr. Doctor, I'm gonna call him a doctor.
Not doctor.
Well, no, I ain't gonna hear that. But coach.
He's our financial doctor.
He is. He's our financial doctor. Coach
How y'all
Walker,
doing?
man.
How y'all doing?
All right, man. We're gonna do it a lot better, man. As soon as we get you on this floor, man. So, Coach Walker, man, I appreciate you. Join us, please.
Absolutely. Man, thank y'all for having me first and foremost. It's always an honor to have your attention and to have your ear. My objective is to drop as many gems as I possibly can. If something applies to you, feel free to put it in your bag. There's no new information under the sun. Disclaimer, this is not financial advice. I am simply sharing information and resources. But I definitely want to just jump right in because we don't have a lot of time and I'm gonna cover a lot of areas, but it's all gonna tie in. And Major, I hope you don't mind, but I'm gonna use you as an example later on. So I may need to just ask you a few questions. I wanna start on my background. One of the reasons why I'm called coach is because I have an extensive sports background. 3-time All-American in track. Went to college on football and track scholarship. Won a couple semi-pro national championships. I've been coaching track and field for kids ages 6 through 18 since I was 19. I've coached All-Americans, national champions, even Olympic gold medalist Gil Roberts. So I've got a pretty extensive background in sports. And the tie-in for that is with sports, there's a lot of structure and discipline involved. There's always a hierarchy. You've got captains, you've got role players, you've got coaches, you've got back office staff. And I believe that sports provides a vehicle for life's lessons. I have twin boys that are 12. I've been coaching them since they were 5. And I use the world of sports to teach a lot of life's lessons. And so we'll be doing some of that with the community and with the academy and given that correlation. So before we jump in, I want you guys to know I own a company called New Legacy Firm, and we focus on financial literacy and every aspect of financial literacy. And I just want to give you guys my why. Okay. Travis is going to share something in the group. I want you to share the buy back the block slide. I come from a at-risk community that sees a lot of plight. And I remember one day I was asking myself, when I get to the end of my life, what is it, the one thing that I want to know for a fact I accomplished? And yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I asked myself this question for a few days. And I finally came to the answer that once I get to the end of my life, I want to know that I had a positive impact on countless generations. Right? The thought of that and just the thought of accomplishing that brought me joy. Right? And so with New Legacy Firm, we have a few different facets. So what we're going to talk about first is taxes. Okay. So, and it'll tie into the why, right? Because my why for being a part of this academy is to help facilitate the services that we provide to not only strengthen our community, but also strengthen entrepreneurship and individuals, so that if we have strong individuals within the community, we'll have a strong community. So the first thing we're going to start to talk about is the withholdings for your taxes. Okay. You're making $10,000-$20,000 a month, right? There's a specific form. So I'm giving you like actual information. So this is something you can write down.
Hold on.
There's a specific form to be able to adjust your tax withholdings. Most people think that it is the government that is taking the taxes out of your check. It is not. The company you work for has a payroll department, and they have a default election of taxes based on your tax status. So if you say single, they're going to tax you at 40%. That's not, because let's keep in mind, when you file your taxes, no one's tax bracket and obligation is preset. So how can your employer know what your tax obligation is? What they're doing for you in good faith is trying to withhold enough so that you don't owe at the end of the year. They call themselves helping you out, but really they're really doing you a disservice. So this W-4 form that all employers have you fill out is where you choose your tax elections, and it's where you say how many dependents you have and if you're single or married. Okay. Now, a strategy that we use to help those retain and secure the bag is going exempt. Now, depending on what state you're in, I'm in the state of Oklahoma. We have a federal tax, of course, and a state tax. If you're in Texas, like a state like Texas that doesn't have state taxes, you're not required to file a state return. Okay. If you are, regardless of if you're filing, state and federal or just federal, the W-4 is the form to file the election. So now when you go exempt, just disclaimer, you have to know what you're doing. You don't want to leave it like that the entire year without any tax planning behind it. Okay. So when you file exempt, you want to set an election, a preset amount, no matter what your check is. So for those people that have a $20,000 check and you get taxed $10,000, but truthfully, the capital gains tax rate is only 20%. Right? So if the tax rate is only 20%, why are they taking 40% out of your check? Okay. So you can preset the actual amount that comes out, no matter how much it is. Let's not continue to let payroll deduct a percentage without you having a say. Okay. Now we talked about tax planning. Well, what does that mean? This is another tax code I'm going to give you. Want to write this down? It's tax code 162A. Again, 162A. Okay. And just, I want to read it to you guys really quick. All right. 162A says, allows a deduction for all the ordinary or necessary expenses paid or incurred during a taxable year and carrying on any trade or business. Right? So you know how like people try to write off stuff, all kinds of stuff, and you really can't write it off? Well, this tax code, if you're an entrepreneur or you're self-employed, this tax code allows you to write off a lot of things, okay? Now, just being able to write off a lot of things isn't great. because you have to be strategic with it. And we'll talk about that here in a second. Actually, we'll talk about it right now. So the common misconception is if I make a lot of money and I don't want to have to pay a big bill, I write it all off. That's a huge no-no, right? Because there's a big difference between deductions and credits. All right. In 2021, during the COVID pandemic, there was a sick and family medical leave credit for all self-employed people. Right. So if you had, even if you had a 9-to-5, but you had a side business, you were able to claim this credit. The difference between credits and deductions are not refundable. So if you have $5,000 in deductions and you have a $2,500 tax bill, it's just going to zero you out and you're not going to get anything in return. If you get a tax credit of $5,000 and you have a tax bill of $2,500, you're going to get a refund for $2,500. Well, what does this mean? This means that throughout the year, before you even get to tax time, you should be thinking about the tax credits that you want to take advantage of. For example, the solar panel tax credit, right? The electric vehicle tax credits. These are things that if you decide, I want to go exempt all year, I know my tax bill is going to be $7,000, but you know what? I bought a Tesla. So this Tesla qualifies me for a $7,000 tax credit. So now, not only did I not, pay anything in taxes, but I also drive a Tesla now, right? You see how we're strategic and planning, okay? And this will kind of take us into the next portion. I want to be brief on taxes. I was going to give you guys a screen share, but I'm pretty sure I'll be talking, sometime in the future, and we'll just continue to build on that. But from a tax implication, first and foremost, know that your deductions are something you can set. I hope that everyone has some type of side hustle or business endeavor, especially knowing that, sometimes we're in between deployments, right? So we want to make sure we have something else going on to sustain ourselves. In this community, I know it's been talked about just because I can tell, about having multiple streams of income, right? Tax code isn't set up for W-2 workers. It's set up for businesses. Jeff Bezos made $24 billion in 2020 during the pandemic. Can anybody tell me how much he paid in taxes? Zero. And I know some of you have heard me say this. How is that even possible? Right? And some of us will say, well, I made too much money. So no, if he didn't make too much money, you can't make too much money. You just don't know enough. Right? So this is why we want to share this information. There's so many additional tax benefits out there. If you do have any questions, again, I do have a tax service as a part of the New Legacy firm. We've been filing taxes for over 9 years. So if you do have any questions, let us know. The next stop, and they all tie together, is Road to Home Ownership. Okay. This is a program that we set up to help facilitate home ownership. Here's a statistic for you guys. I grew up in a Black community, right? All Black community. So I have an affinity for just where we are financially as a community. And I read a stat a couple years ago, maybe last year, and it said that African-American home ownership is at lower levels today than it was in 1961. Okay. Just to give you guys contrast, I've done the research. Our population has increased by over 87% since 1961. Yet our home ownership ratio has declined. We are moving into a world of the haves and the have-nots. With high interest rates makes it harder to purchase a home, right? The reason why purchasing a home is so fundamental is because it gives you a core asset that appreciates in value. So, not to offend anyone, but just to give a context, liabilities and assets. Liabilities are things that take your money and don't give you anything back. assets or things that pay you for the duration of your ownership, right? To give you guys a story, I purchased a home 7 years ago, and it's now double what it's worth, right? So and I give all glory to God because I didn't set out for it to be this way, but you know, and over the last year, we've been able to purchase, you know, 4 investment properties, and we've been able to, you know, get over 6 figures of business funding for our clients. But it's because we took the time to invest in ourselves, to learn the information, to use our resources. Okay. So why do we push for home ownership? Because it becomes the seed, right? It becomes the seed. So Major, you made 60,000 in 1 month, right? And it was great. Janae, I heard you mention that, you know, the first week or 2 weeks after deployment, it's like, hold on now, I got to get back to something, right? So how do you facilitate in between that? That's the real question. How do you facilitate between the times when you're not on the deployment, you have this income, but it's not, you know, full time all throughout the year? How do you use that to springboard yourself to the next thing that's going to make you 100,000 a month? Right. Now, I don't know if any of you know the number one reason why businesses fail is what? No? Nobody? No answers? Maybe they're in the chat. I'm gonna give y'all a quick second. Give me number one reason why businesses fail. Somebody. You can unmute or just put it in the chat. Cash flow. All right, we'll take that one. So yeah, lack of funding. Number one reason why businesses fail is lack of funding. Okay. So the reason why there's lack of funding, because we don't know how to go and get it. Because we'll take the side money that we make. Let's say I sell t-shirts, right? I sell t-shirts and I make $15,000 a year on these t-shirts. I make $40,000 a year on my job, but on my tax return, I put the $40,000 and I put a whole bunch of deductions. So after deductions, my income's only $10,000 a year. Nobody's going to approve me at all because I use deductions and not credits. So my adjusted gross income is too low. Or I make the income, Major, you make the income that if you structured it the right way, like that, we can go and get 6 figures in business funding. But it has to be structured the right way. So now we're going into the entrepreneurship piece. So how is that structured? We all know that we have to have an LLC. And we're talking about the proper structure of your LLC. Okay. We know you need the LLC, but you need to have a separation of entities after you do that. Because if you don't file a separation of entities, you and your LLC are not separate and your personal assets are not protected. Okay. When you file your articles of incorporation with the Secretary of State, all information needs to match, right? You do need to have a registered business address on your LLC, not a home. You do need to have a registered business line, not an additional cell phone number. Okay. Ryan, why is that important? What difference does it make? This is the approval criteria of the major lending institutions. So something as if on your EIN certificate, Avenue is spelled out, but on your articles of incorporation, it's abbreviated, it's going to automatically decline your application for funding.
Wow.
Right. Let's say, and so let's say you have 5 inquiries, but your credit score is a 780 and you still get declined and you don't know why. It's your inquiries. To give you guys some context, I work for a law firm doing credit repair. I was top of the nation for a couple of years. It's actually where I met Doc Brock's amazing niece, my great friend. And in that time, I learned so much about the credit game. Most people wouldn't know that when you go look at your credit report, if you see multiple addresses, like old addresses you don't live at anymore, it's hurting your credit score. because lenders feel like you move around a lot. So it's hard for them to track you down if you default. So you'll get declined just for having too many addresses. There's a way to offset that, right? So a lot of times it's our ignorance that's stopping our business from scaling. And when we talk about business, we're also talking about real estate investing. Because in this community, we don't just want you to have a job. We don't just want you to have a career. We want you to have a legacy. Something that's lasting and sustaining. You know, you guys may consider me a preacher, but I'm a strong believer in the word. And a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So we want to make sure that everything we do is not in vain. It's to sustain us for generations to come. That's how we make the most impactful impression from this community on the world that we can. Is so that everything we do is lasting, right? My background has been a business development manager, right? From a business development manager to a market field trainer, from a market field trainer to a licensed producer, from a licensed producer to a business owner for 15 years, to a licensed adjuster. In everything that I've done, I've always coached. I've always been one to lead and guide. I take honor and pride in being able to be that for those who I can be that for. And I also look for those that I can learn from. You know, it's important for us to know why we do it. I want to help people. You got to know your why. Your why doesn't have to be my why. But when we're in this community, let's communicate what our whys is. Let's make it communicated. Because Major, I can take some information just from what we talked about, for what you talked about, and show you how we can not only use my business, but also use the community to help you put a better foot forward towards whatever your ambitions are. So this is what I'm here to help you guys with. Any information pertaining to taxes, purchasing a home. Don't let the misconceptions get the best of you. If you're in Oklahoma, for sure, there's like 3 down payment assistance programs that you can stack all together. 2 of them $15,000 each, one of them $20,000. You go to a class for one day and you receive this down payment assistance voucher and you apply it to the principal of your home when you purchase it. So we're talking about buying a home with $45,000 of instant equity. And Oklahoma isn't the only state that has these programs. You know, I'm not giving you guys anything you can't go and find on the internet. But I feel like the guy from Taken, I have a very unique skill set. and I say that because I say that because I've seen this work time and time and time again. So, and I'll leave you guys with this. We'll make sure I got everything in that I wanted to talk to you all about. Yeah, I did. With the type of money that the community can help you make. And I just told you about tax code 162A. And Janae, you've been on deployment, is it since January?
This is like my 4th deployment. I've been home for maybe 6 weeks out of the year. Like I've been working pretty much all year.
Okay, so perfect, right? So let's say for easy math, Janae grosses $250,000, right? Yeah. If she grosses $250,000, the tax liability on that without any credits or deductions is 20%. For those who don't want to do the math, that's 50.
And they robbing me. They robbing me.
That's $50,000. But I promise you, at the tax rate that she's getting taxed, if she makes $250,000 at the end of the year, it's going to say she's paid in well over 100. Right? So if Janae decides, you know what? I think I'm going to buy me $100,000 car. I'm gonna buy me $100,000 car. Yep, and I'm gonna buy it in my business name. I'm gonna buy it in my LLC's name. And the price tag of that car is $100,000. Now, Janae did not buy that car cash. She financed it. Well, what difference does that make? She still gets to write off the entire price of the car, even though she's only financing it. So if she decides to sell it after that, what do you guys think happens? Mr. Banks?
She profits.
Right? So I only tell you that because the world of finance, the world of the entrepreneurship world, nobody has the one way, the one answer, or all the answers. Let's not think about it like that anymore, right? It's all about how strategic and how creative you can be. If I have any chess players on here and you play chess, you know there's unlimited amount of moves that could happen on the chessboard, and you just have to be aware and cognizant of what's going on so that you can take advantage of those moves. So I'll leave you guys with this
question.
Go ahead.
Okay. We know that she makes a profit that first year. So does the car become a depreciating asset each year thereafter so that she can get money back?
So on your vehicle, business vehicle, you can claim depreciation. It's one of those things where the way I advise my tax clients, we want to stay audit free. So the things that are really sticky in particular, like, you know, some people try to really stick it to the IRS with mileage and claim, you know, excessive mileage. We want to try to stay away from those nitpicky things, because keep in mind, the more detail you give them, the more information they have to go off of. So a depreciating asset, let's say, you know, the car may have lost $2,500 in value, and you want to write, because it's only going to be a deduction. That depreciation isn't going to be a credit. So let's say Janae needs her debt to income ratio to be under a 45 because she's about to buy an apartment complex. Taking that $2,500 deduction could be the difference between whether or not she gets approved for it. So if you guys aren't familiar with debt to income ratio, debt to income ratio takes how much money you make, how much obligations you have a month, whether it's a car payment, a mortgage, credit cards, and let's say your debt, the approval amount is 40%. So you make $10,000 a month, 40% of $10,000 is $4,000. The people you apply for that home with is going to say all of your bills plus your mortgage cannot exceed $4,000. They got to that number based on what your adjusted gross income was on your taxes. Right. And so I'll leave you guys with this. And tell me if you cannot see it. Let's see. I might have to turn my blur off. Give me 1 second. All right. Can we see it? Is it too bright?
That's bright, baby. That's bright.
You know what?
Right. What did it say?
I'm gonna use my marker.
Oh, you can go ahead and draw it out?
Yeah. Can we see it?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not clear though, but we can see it.
All right. So this right here, this circle, is your comfort zone, right? You're inside this circle. On the outside of this circle, you'll see things like freedom, your goals, more time, money, flexibility, right? I wish you guys could see this. Keep in mind that if you never leave your comfort zone, how can you ever get to your goals? Sometimes we want to continue to do the things that we're comfortable with. We're afraid to get uncomfortable. We're afraid to take chances. We're afraid to go on deployments. We're afraid to give a new community a chance. All that represents your comfort zone. I want to challenge you all for the rest of the year. Push yourself to leave your comfort zone and see how much growth you achieve. Someone showed me that in 2008. I never forgot it. Anytime I feel myself reaching limits or hitting a brick wall, I know it's time to get uncomfortable, because that's where all the good stuff is, outside your comfort zone. I yield my time.
Boy, Beard shine. Look at boy Beard shining.
Thank
Boy.
you, Coach
Ooh, look
Ryan.
good,
Thank
boy.
you.
That boy
Thank
said he
you.
My
yielded.
guy.
That man said he yielded his time.
Ba-ba-ba.
Oh
That
my!
was awesome.
I just want
That
to
was
say,
awesome.
I just want to say that I know, like, for some people that are out there grinding, this may like really go over their heads, you know, some of the things that Coach Ryan is speaking on, but it's so important to have a plan once you get into this field, because in the beginning, of course, you're gonna pay off your debt, then you probably gonna splurge a little, you know, buy this, buy that. And then you'll probably get to the end of year one, like, damn, where's the money? Like, you know what I mean? Because you out here splurging. Like, pay attention to what he's saying, because it's gonna happen so fast. Like, for a good example, Sterling just got deployed. Like, I hope he's writing these things down, because the money is gonna come to him quickly, you know, once he gets going. And it's like, if you could have a plan for this, man, I can't wait to get with Coach Ryan. I can't wait. I'm ready to buy property now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm ready. So thank you
Absolutely.
so much, Coach Ryan. Thank you so much for putting those gems into my
Hey,
head.
hey,
'Cause you're
Coach,
planting
really,
seeds. Planting
absolutely.
seeds for me.
That's
No,
amazing, Coach. I got a question,
Right.
Coach. Like, when I'm ready to do my LLC, because I haven't yet, can I contact you, and will you help me through that process to make sure that I am in the right steps?
Absolutely. It's something that we really try to help all entrepreneurs with. You know, we like to do business collaborations as well, and I have a vested interest in helping you guys set up the structure properly so that you can get funding, business credit cards, lines of credit to scale out your business. You know, we can do that. Please, guys, don't let yourself come in and make this money and not set yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let yourself make this money and it be gone.
A last thing I wanted to say also is that, you know, this job is not easy. You know what I mean? It's definitely not a walk in the park. Like, it could be very overwhelming in the beginning. It could be stressful for some people, you know, and you can burn out from it, you know what I mean? And it's something that I'm speaking for myself, it's not something I want to do for 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get in, I want to learn as much as I can about the home, and, you know, get into real estate and use this to fund other things. You know, I don't want to work every day. I mean, I work 7 days a week, you know what I mean? Like, I'm out here grinding, it's okay, but I don't want to do that for 7 years or 10 years straight. You know what I mean? So it's like, I want to get some good money and invest it and work smarter. You know what I mean? As older I get, I don't want to keep getting on 12/12s. You know what I mean? Risking my life, you know, like,
man. So basically, what she's saying, adjusting isn't her dream. She didn't grow up dreaming of adjusting. However, she's gonna find her dream within the dream of adjusting.
Absolutely.
So that's what we want to help y'all do. You can create your dream within somebody else's dream. We didn't come in here and be like, oh man, when I grow up, I want to be an adjuster. That wasn't the plan. However, we found this. It's like, man, within that, I can create my dream. I can do what I want to do. And it just so happens that we all share a dream of helping and reaching back and wanting to help other people. We all share that dream. That's what binds us together. So within that binding of that shared dream, we are all realizing our dream. However, it came through this one thing of adjusting, and there's somebody else's dream, but we're going to find our dream within that dream. Your dream may be something else. Of course, we all got different dreams. Supporting your families, taking care of your people, taking care of your mother. You got a son, whatever. You want to travel the world. You want to do whatever. Your dream is your dream. We want to help you realize that dream within this dream. So that's what we're here for. And we want to be that for you. So, guys, we're so happy. Coach Ryan, he's going to help me personally realize that dream within this dream, get my stuff together. Eva, is going to help me realize that dream. Travis, Dr. Brock has helped me. He's going to help me realize that dream. There's so many people within this community that's going to help me realize that dream. And that dream isn't something that's something lightly and something slight. That's a small something. That's something major that for you that have kids, that have children and all of that, it's something that can affect your children's children, your kids' kids, for generations to come. So the people that we have here today, the coach Ryan, even the majors, the Dr. Brocks, these people are here to help you and to guide you and to assist you and to realizing your dreams and finding your dreams and finding your voice and finding your why and getting to that. This is bigger than adjusting. This is bigger than that for us. And you know, if adjusting is your platform, then so be it. If being, you know, in real estate, being in financial advising, if that's your platform, then so be it. But here is a community that you can come and be whatever you are that makes you a superhero. Find your superhero and be there. We have super friends in here, so you can be your superhero and find your super strength and utilize that within this community. And so that's what we're here for. Next week, guys, he's going to be week 12. And we're going to be speaking to something that's near and dear to us. It's personal. But we're going to be speaking about domestic violence next week. Toby Rowe, our very own Toby Rowe, someone that is near and dear to us, that we love. She's a part of us, the inner workings group, and this thing couldn't function and move forward without Toby. So she is going to be speaking and joining us next week to speak about domestic violence. Again, this is bigger than adjustment. This is an all-around thing. I personally know people that have endured that, is enduring that. So it's
in
something that we want.
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month as well.
October is, yes, absolutely. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So she's going to be speaking with us with that. So if you guys have any things that you want to speak about, any people that you want to bring and talk, please reach out to us. You know, we've been more than happy to discuss that with us. And
also, if this is not something, not just on the domestic violence thing, but just adjusting period, like if you're new here and this is something that you're not sure if it's for you, you might know someone else that could really benefit from it. So if you could just, you know, reach out to other people that you feel could benefit from this information, don't hesitate to do that, because you might really change their for real.
Absolutely. You will change their lives. And again, it's not just adjusting. You know, we have mental health. We have a lot of different aspects. If you're just trying to get your mind right, if you want to get focused, if you want to get something and you want some people that's going to be in the same mindset and we're here to pour into you, you know, and show that we care for you, and we really do. Just last week, there was people in here saying Travis didn't know them from jump, but he came and poured to them off the bat. You know, like it was really into what they're doing. This is what we're here for. And we really, really, really want to see you be better, want to see you do better. If you want better, we're here to support you for that, man. So please join us again next week. Everybody, man, again, I thank you for your time today, week 11.
Yes, thank you guys for coming out.
For joining us this Sunday. I appreciate everyone for not saying anything about Cowboy game. Thank you so much for that.
About the Cowboy game?
I appreciate that. Thank you for that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, things are going to be getting bigger and brighter. We're just scratching the surface of what this is. We're scratching the surface. We got so many things in the work, and as they, you know, open up, we're going to be revealing them to you, man. So please drop your information in the Discord if you have any questions, so we can get in contact with you as things open up, and we're ready to unveil and reveal. You'll be the first to know. So stay in the loop. Drop that information so we can get in contact with you, man. We're going to be doing a lot of great things here in the future, meet and greets and all of that type of stuff, man. So does anybody have anything else to add before we get out of here and let people get back to their Sunday night?
The dance.
Yes.
To the dance.
Yes.
Two fingers, baby.
Hey.
I thought we could skate out without that.
Yeah,
This
body
week.
roll.
Damn.
That means, hey man, if y'all couldn't, man, look, man, Coach if y'all didn't see what Coach was giving y'all the jewels and everything, man, I mean, I really hope y'all just look at it again. Look at it again and just play his section and just listen to the stuff that he said. He is a part of what we are giving to you. And that
He on our team, y'all.
How big that column is.
On our team, y'all. He my friend. He my friend.
Awesome. Yeah, I know him. I brought
Hey
him
guys,
in.
I know him.
Hey guys, I put my information in the group chat. If you have questions, feel free to call me. You can text me. It doesn't matter, you know, whatever you feel like you want to ask, don't hesitate. And I'll leave y'all with this. It's 6 ways people are motivated: inwardly, outwardly, towards, away, positively, and negatively. People are always motivated by 1 or 2 of those mechanisms. Know how you are motivated so that you never have to look for motivation and inspiration. Again, that's inwardly, outwardly, towards, away, positively, negatively. All right, y'all have a great night.
All right.
Campbell, what's going on? Campbell, what's up, bud? What it do, baby?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, I actually need to get with you, Trev.
Hey,
I was just talking with Demetrio about you.
I get called now.
Absolutely, he will. I told you, Cam, just hit him up. He got questions.
Yeah.
That boy ain't for
Hey, man. I don't run from a player. I'm about that life.
Let's do it.
Like legit.
He
This is
is.
everything to me, man. This is good stuff, man.
Well, yeah, it's a great meeting, man. Again, man, thank you, everybody, man. You know, next time, you know, next week is gonna be even better and better, man. I can't wait till we start dropping all of this stuff, man. All the people hanging around.
To the paid community, man. This is good. The paid community come around.
Let's see all these good names, man. Obi, good to see you, Obi. You know, Miss Rose,
Obi.
man. You know what I'm saying? Miss Michelle.
Nice to see you, Obi.
Miss Michelle.
We missed you.
Brown, okay.
Oh, crap. Hey, the time rate dropped from Jules, man. 2 weeks. He going down 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks, huh? Yeah, going down, huh?
Yeah, back like I never left.
Yo, Obi, where's your home licensing state in?
Texas, right?
Texas. Nice.
Yeah.
Ivan, what's up, man?
What up, though?
What up, though, baby?
What up, though? Good meeting, man. Good stuff.
Thanks for coming out.
All right, y'all. I'm about to do my dance.
Oh,
It's
man.
Sunday night.
Don't do it.
No, don't you do that.
Don't
now
do
I
it.
really gotta
He
go.
did that thing with his back. He did this right here. Nah, that is not what
Don't do it.
Don't do it, dog. Don't do it, man. Not yet.
Body roll.
I'm
the body roll in the morning. I'm like, the shit's going down in the morning.
That boy said he did this right here. That is no. That's not what happened. Say, man, thank everybody again.
All right, y'all be easy, man.
All right.
Wonderful evening. Peace out.
Thank you, Ms. Rose. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.